Hey everyone, it's KIREI here for Bramble Fox, and I have a brand new process video for you. I'm using the fabulous Nature extra large title, and I'm also using the Fox Cut stencil number 106, and it's called Punchinella. I have some photos here. I've got 8 small photos, and I've already mounted them because I have to confess, I started this layout already and I didn't like what I was doing, but I'd already mounted the photos, so hence that's why they're done. So anyway, we're starting again. That's okay. So I have the Echo Park Animal Kingdom collection, and I'm just layering up some strips in different patterns and colorways. I'm just going to use those as a sort of feature down the left side, and then I will layer my photos over the top of them. My photos were from pretty recent trip to Port Lympne Hotel and Reserve down in Kent for my 60th birthday. It was my husband's birthday present to me, and we stayed 2 nights down there in this most amazing wooden wigwam with fantastic views over the Kent countryside. And part of my my sort of stay, he treated me to a number of different animal experiences, and this one was Meet the Rhino, so which was fabulous. I mean, we were up close, you know, as you can see from the photos, we were able to touch the rhino. Yeah, and it was brilliant. Such a fantastic experience. And Port Lympne does a lot of work on like conservation, and their aim is to release animals back into the wild. So yeah. Anyway, so this is the rhino experience. So what am I doing here? We're moving on. We are doing some stenciling to the background. And as always, my stenciling tends to be relatively subtle. I end up, you know, stenciling and then covering up a lot of it. But that's okay. I just like that it sort of peeps out from behind my papers. And I've used Distress Oxide in Bundled Sage with this one, just a soft green, just obviously picking out the colours, the greens that are in the papers and the green of the title. So I've really sort of heavily distressed the edges of all the paper strips, and I've mounted my photos, and I've mounted them with foam pads just on the top edge only and kept it flat down the bottom. And I love that extra large nature title. I sort of looked at it going the other way, going across the layout underneath the photos, but it just wasn't working for me. So actually turning it on that sort of vertical worked really well. Actually, it followed the vertical strips that I already had, so I felt like that was a much better spot for it to sit. And then I'm just adding a little bit of interest. Oh, someone's given me a 12 bar there. Oops, I'm actually away at a crop, and sometimes people don't realize I'm filming, so yeah, you get little things added into your video. Anyway, yeah. So I added some little extra detail. I've just wound around some embroidery thread to the nature title in a number of different places, and then now I'm just bringing in some of the coordinating ephemera. And I've got some older perspectives from my stash. So I've got some little flowers. I've got a butterfly. I've got some dragonflies. I just wanted to add something else in to build on to build my embellishment clusters. So now I'm getting those elements stuck down. So I've got some word phrases here that we've got. I think this top one says it's wild and free. And then I've got the little banner below the photos that says Happy Zoo Day. And then here's the little flower perspectives. I love these small perspectives that you can just tuck into your embellishment clusters. I don't know, these aren't available now, but there are lots of other smaller perspective in stars and hearts and things like that work really, really well, that you can just tuck into your embellishment clusters. So, you know, if you pop on over to bramblefox.co.uk, you can have a look and see what they have available. Okay, so I've got this little like map here, camera, there's a flower. So yeah, just adding bits and pieces here. I've got this sign here that has the names of different animals. Sadly, it didn't have rhinos on this one, but anyway, that is okay. I am at a zoo effectively, so yeah, that's fine. So again, popping in a little flower perspective there, just adding a little bit of pop of the sort of pinky corally colour into the layout. And then the last little flower that I've just added there. Now I've got a couple of little banners that I've added here. I do actually change those because I completely had forgotten I had the paper snips, and they had some, and they're quite autumnal. However, there were a couple of banner pieces on it, and I switched them out afterwards, and you'll see that in the photos at the end of the video. Okay, I can stick my nature title down now. Now, if you go over to the shop, there are quite a lot of extra large titles available, and I really love them. Actually, they really add, they're really quite a feature on your layout, and they've got a variety of different ones. There's legendary, summer, memories, snapshots, remember, splendid, cherished, enjoy, today, and then they've got a couple of school ones. School is cool and school days, and some of them come in a mix of colors, so you've got a bit of options there. But yeah, I love the way they look, and they really sort of pop from the layout. Okay, I decided to add a little bit more stitching detail here because I'd wrapped the title with some embroidery thread. I thought I'd add some little cross stitches, just another added texture to the layout. In fact, what I've thought about, I could have actually cross stitched over the nature title instead of wrapping around, but anyway, that's okay. Okay, so I'm just going to add a few, as I say, around the layout in a number of different spots. And then I'm almost done, actually. I'm sort of, yeah, I haven't got too much left to do. I think I'll add my journaling as always, and I always add something to my layouts just to make sure I know what we were doing, and just to really just add some details, but also to add a date, because it really helps me when I come to file them, because typically I end up with loads and loads of layouts that I haven't got filed, and then they need to be all done in one go, and so it really helps me out knowing the order they need to go in. Okay, so as I said, journaling below my photos, and then yeah, here are the close-ups. There we go, and there you can see I changed out those two tabs at the bottom to say just us and our stories, and that is from the paper snips. Okay, there's the close-up details. I hope you've enjoyed watching the process video, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.